Hello and welcome back to my studio. Well, what do artists enjoy more than having art materials? Probably reading art books. I know I love art books, and in this video I'm going to share with you my favorite curated list of art books. Now we're getting to that time of year where people are looking at presents for their friends, family, and if you've got an artist in that circle, some art materials, always a good choice, and of course some art books. And I had a look through my art library. I've got tons of books. Some I read more than others, and some I go back to all the time. So I pulled out a whole bunch of my favorite ones, and I'm going to show them to you, and they might give you some ideas as well of things you'd like to add to your library or gift to a special friend or family member. I'm going to start with this one. It's The Art Spirit by Robert Henry, and it's a really fantastic inspirational book written by an artist and famous art teacher who taught some of the greats in the early 1900s. Filled with anecdotes. You can see I've got lots of bookmarks in there. I've used this book often, and you can read it whenever you need some insights into the art life, art process, or even some painting tips. No pictures, just excellent writing, and you'll refer to this book often if you love art. Now the next book, this is Van Gogh in Owl by Ronald Pickvance. You can find copies of this on Amazon as well, but it's filled with information about Van Gogh's time in Arles. I think he created some of his most iconic work. There's his sketches, there's his famous paintings, and descriptions about what he was up to, his letters. Fascinating information. Now for more art inspiration and discovering in your creative self, the famous bestseller by Julia Cameron, The Artist's Way. Develop your artistic inspiration, your artistic process, finding out more about yourself and how to break through many of the barriers, psychological and practical. I have several books written by famous artists, and one of my favorite is the British artist David Curtis. This is one of his books, capturing the moment in oils, and filled with beautiful photographs of his fantastic paintings and descriptions of his painting process and tips, etc. So if you're a landscape artist and you love the light in the landscape, then Capturing the Moment in Oils by David Curtis is a must. Now, another great British artist who sadly passed away this year is Ken Howard, and his book Inspired by Light is also filled with beautiful pictures of his work and descriptions of his painting process and how he developed his art over the years. Really wonderful book. Ken Howard going to be sadly missed. Now for an instructional book, I could also recommend Mitchell Albalah's book, Landscape Painting. Just about everything you need to know about landscape painting in what really is a monumental work. So much information, very useful, and you can refer to this many, many times in the future. Now, of course, I cannot leave out Kevin McPherson's books on landscape painting, inside and out, and oil painting with light and color. As you can see, these remain in my studio, close at hand, covered in paint. I'm sure Kevin McPherson would approve. Tons of really beautiful paintings, beautiful photographs, information that is essential to any contemporary impressionist painter. And on the subject of Kevin McPherson is his book Reflections on a Pond, in which he records his pursuit of painting one particular scene on every day of the year. And this was a gift to me from my wife and inscribed by Kevin McPherson. as well. So it's a treasured gift and something I can sit back and look at from time to time to inspire me. Another excellent instructional book, Carlson's Guide to Landscape Painting by John F. Carlson. Now this is an older style book written in the early 1900s, as you can see, black and white, but the information is timeless, and it's certainly for the dedicated artist who really wants to hone their craft. Carlson's Guide to Landscape Painting will do you right. Now, another great artist who passed away a few years ago, Richard Schmidt, Alla Prima. There's also an Alla Prima 2, but this is my copy, his first version of the book. And as it says, everything I know about painting, some wonderful information and photographs, but information that you won't easily find except through the words of a master, and Richard Schmidt is exactly that. Now, this list wouldn't be complete without something involving Claude Monet. I refer to this book very often. There are, of course, probably hundreds of different books on Claude Monet, but The Life and Works of Monet by Susie Hodge, a book that is always close at hand, and if you've been doing any of my lessons and courses, you'll note that I refer to this book quite often to illustrate or provide examples of great Impressionist painting. Now, perhaps you can forgive me for a few shameless references to a couple of my own books. An Artist Survival Guide, 52 Weeks of Creative Living as well, available in Kindle format, EPUBs, and also paperback, as you see here. And my latest little book, a collection of paintings and anecdotes, etc., Trees and Lanes, and you can find this on Blurb as hardcover or soft cover. Now, I've put links to the books below this video, or you can find them in your local store perhaps. Have a look and you may be able to find something really great. So if you think I've left out a great book, perhaps one of your favorite books, let me know in the comments what is your top book. That might give me something to read over the coming holidays as well. Now, if you haven't got your free painting course, remember there's a link for you up here or also in the description. And if you haven't subscribed, well, do so now. Just get that done. Click subscribe, hit notifications, and you won't miss another video. Well, all I can say is happy painting and happy reading, and we'll see you in the next video coming soon. Cheers for now.